First Contact and Revelation. The Dreadnought-class warship Inexorable emerged from fold space at the edge of Sol system, its obsidian hull absorbing, rather than reflecting, the distant sunlight. At 12 kilometers long, it was the pride of the Malkari Dominion's fleet, a city-sized vessel designed to subjugate worlds with minimal effort. Aboard the command bridge, Supreme Commander Vexar surveyed the holographic display of the third planet with 6 multifaceted eyes. "Status report," he demanded, his mandibles clicking with anticipation. "All systems optimal," Supreme Commander reported First Officer Krell. "We've detected primitive electromagnetic communications from the target planet. No orbital defenses or interplanetary craft of military significance. As intelligence suggested, they appear to be a pre-spacefaring civilization, with only minimal orbital presence." Vexar's exoskeleton shimmered with satisfaction. The Dominion had cataloged thousands of worlds, and Earth was merely the latest acquisition, a resource-rich planet with a sentient species too primitive to pose any meaningful resistance. Standard procedure dictated a show of overwhelming force, followed by terms of surrender. The Malkari had perfected this approach across 12 galactic sectors. "Deploy the Herald drones," Vexar ordered. "Begin the approach vector. Weapons systems on standby." 4 sleek drone ships detached from the Inexorable, accelerating toward Earth at 10% light speed. They would arrive hours before the main vessel, broadcasting the Dominion's terms across all frequencies. On Earth, Dr. Eleanor Chen was monitoring the deep space detection grid when the quantum arrays registered the fold space disruption. At 52, she had dedicated her life to the Global Defense Initiative, rising to become its chief science officer. Her calm demeanor belied the significance of the moment as she tapped her comlink. "Director Okonkwo, we have confirmation. Fold space transition detected at system boundary. Configuration matches Dominion patterns from the recovered Centauri probe. They're here." In the GDI headquarters beneath Mount Cheyenne, Director Adebayo Okonkwo nodded, his expression unchanged. "Initiate Protocol Vigilant Dawn. Priority Omega." Across the planet, an alert appeared simultaneously on billions of personal devices. "Attention. Unidentified spacecraft approaching Earth. First Contact Protocol active. Please continue normal activities. Updates to follow." In Tokyo, commuters glanced at their phones before returning to their morning newspapers. In Lagos, market vendors continued their haggling, occasionally looking skyward. In Buenos Aires, cafe patrons discussed the news with casual interest before returning to their conversations. No panic, no chaos, just a planet continuing its day. The Herald drones entered Earth orbit, positioning themselves equidistantly around the planet. They began broadcasting on all frequencies. "Attention inhabitants of SOL3. This is the Malkari Dominion ship Inexorable. Your world has been solicited for integration into the Dominion. Surrender your planetary governance within 1 rotation of your world or face immediate pacification. Resistance is futile, and will result in significant population reduction." The message repeated in over 50 Earth languages. In the GDI command center, Director Okonkwo straightened his uniform jacket and addressed his staff. "Let's acknowledge their message. Standard response protocol." Communications Officer Maya Patel nodded and transmitted Earth's reply. "Message received. Please stand by for official response from Earth Unified Governance. Estimated response time: 6 hours." A gentle, almost hypnotic musical sequence accompanied the message, a composition specifically designed by xenopsychologists to irritate non-human neural patterns. "They've deployed scanning drones," reported Dr. Chen, monitoring energy signatures from the alien vessels, attempting to map our defenses and infrastructure. Director Okonkwo's expression remained impassive. And what will they find, Doctor? Dr. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Exactly what we want them to see. The Chimera protocol is functioning perfectly. They're detecting pre-space age technology, scattered military bases, conventional weapon systems, and rudimentary satellites. And the real network. Completely masked. Quantum camouflage is holding across all nodes. They have no idea. 3 hours later, the inexorable itself entered Earth orbit, its massive silhouette eclipsing the sun over portions of the Pacific Ocean. Civilians pointed skyward, taking photos with their devices, but life continued largely uninterrupted. Another transmission arrived. Your DLA tactics are UCLS. Subiyamite now, or we while the immonesti right LEWAR power on an isolated population center. As Dwoe are naying, Director Okonkwo sighed. They're right on schedule. Predictable. He looked to his command staff. I believe it's time for Phase 2. Dr. Chen. Quantum Shield Network is fully operational, sir. All 317 nodes are synchronized and powered. And the Fold Space Inhibitor. Ready on your command. Okonkwo nodded. Let's introduce ourselves properly. Open direct visual communication. On the Inexorable's bridge, Supreme Commander Vexar was growing impatient when the unexpected happened. A direct visual transmission from Earth, bypassing the Dominion's security protocols. Before he could react, a holographic projection appeared on his command deck, a human male in a simple dark uniform. Greetings, Supreme Commander Vexar of the Malkuri Dominion. I am Director Adebayo Okonkwo of Earth's Global Defense Initiative. I apologize for the delay in our response, but we wanted to ensure proper diplomatic protocols were observed. Vexar's mandibles clicked in confusion and anger. How did you penetrate our communication systems? How do you know my designation? Director Okonkwo smiled slightly. We've been aware of the Malkuri Dominion for over 70 years, Commander. Ever since your scout ship crashed in the Antarctic region in 1953 by our calendar. The bridge fell silent as Vexar processed this information. Impossible. No scout ships were dispatched to this sector before. Before your current expansion initiative, yes, Okonkwo finished for him. The scout ship was from a previous dynasty's exploration program. We recovered it, studied it, and learned much about your people and technology. We've been intercepting your communications ever since. Vexar's exoskeleton paled slightly, the Malkuri equivalent of blanching. If you have been aware of interstellar civilizations for decades, why have you not revealed yourselves? Why maintain the appearance of a primitive species? Strategic advantage. Commander, we observed how the Dominion treats emerging spacefaring civilizations. We chose a different path. Vexar regained his composure. Your deception changes nothing. Your world will be integrated into the Dominion. Your technology level is still centuries behind ours. I believe you're operating under a misapprehension, said Okonkwo calmly. Perhaps a demonstration is in order. Dr. Chen, if you would. Before Vexar could respond, the 4 Herald drones surrounding Earth simultaneously lost power, their propulsion and communication systems failing instantly. What have you done? Demanded Vexar. A simple quantum state disruption, explained Dr. Chen, stepping into view. Your technology relies heavily on quantum entanglement. We've simply introduced a controlled decoherence pattern. Vexar turned to his officers. Target weapons on their largest population center. Prepare to. But nothing happened. The weapons officer frantically manipulated controls that no longer responded. I should mention, continued Okonkwo, that we've extended the quantum disruption field to your weapon systems as well. Your ship is currently capable of life support and basic maneuvering only. For the first time in his long military career, Supreme Commander Vexar felt something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. Who are you people? He finally asked. Director Okonkwo's expression remained measured. We are humanity, Commander, and we've been preparing for this meeting for a very long time. The human advantage. In the officer's briefing chamber aboard the Inexorable, Supreme Commander Vexar struggled to maintain composure as he addressed his senior staff. 6 hours had passed since the humans had neutralized their weapons and communication systems with seemingly effortless precision. "Progress report," he demanded, his voice unnaturally level. Chief Engineer Mektral's antennae drooped in submission. "We've restored 30% of internal communications and basic navigation, Supreme Commander. But weapons, advanced sensors, and fold space drives remain offline. Whatever they've done operates on principles we don't fully understand." "Explain," Vexar commanded. "They've somehow altered the quantum substrate of our systems," the engineer explained. "It's as if they've changed the fundamental rules by which our technology operates. We're not being jammed or disrupted in any conventional sense. They've essentially rewritten the quantum states of targeted systems." Security Director Ziv Rak clicked her mandibles in frustration. Impossible. No species at their development stage could possess such technology. "Evidently," Vexar said coldly, "our intelligence on this species was catastrophically wrong." The tactical display showed Earth continuing its rotation below them, maddeningly unconcerned with the Dominion warship in its orbit. No mass panic, no desperate military scrambling, just a planet going about its business, as if the arrival of an alien warship was an everyday occurrence. "They were prepared for us," Vexar realized aloud. "Not just prepared, they've been waiting." A soft chime indicated another incoming transmission from the planet below. The humans were calling again. On the view screen, Director Okonkwo appeared, looking as composed as before. "Commander Vexar, I trust you've had time to assess your situation. Are you prepared to discuss terms?" Vexar's pride warred with pragmatism. In 12 stellar campaigns, he had never encountered a species capable of neutralizing Dominion technology so completely. "What are your terms?" he asked finally. "First, let me clarify our position," Okonkwo replied. "We have no interest in destruction or conquest. Had you approached peacefully, we would have welcomed peaceful exchange. Your threatening posture forced our defensive response." Vexar noticed something in the background of the transmission, a holographic display showing the positions of not just the Inexorable, but 17 other Dominion vessels scattered across 5 sectors. "How are you tracking our fleet movements?" he demanded. Dr. Chen stepped into view. "When we discovered quantum entanglement technology from your scout ship, we realized it could be modified to create a passive observation network. We've been monitoring Dominion communications and fleet deployments for decades." Vexar's mind raced. If the humans could track Dominion ships across such vast distances, what other capabilities had they developed in secret? "You mentioned terms," he reminded them, struggling to regain conversational control. "Yes," Okonkwo nodded. "Earth proposes a non-aggression pact between humanity and the Malkari Dominion. We have no interest in your existing territories or expansion efforts away from our sphere of influence. In return, we require recognition of Sol System and its immediate 12 light-year radius as sovereign human space. And if we refuse..." Dr. Chen manipulated something off-screen. "We've just transmitted technical data to your science officer's private terminal. Data on how we're currently nullifying your systems. Consider it a good-faith demonstration of our capabilities." On the Inexorable, Science Director Thelvik reviewed the incoming data, her compound eyes widening. "Supreme Commander, they've just provided the theoretical framework for their quantum disruption technology. It's elegant, and if this is accurate, they could permanently disable any Dominion vessel that enters their space." The implication was clear. This wasn't just a defensive measure, it was a demonstration of technological supremacy in a specific domain. "You could have destroyed this vessel," Vexar observed. "Why didn't you?" "That's not who we are," Okonkwo replied simply. "Humanity has had its share of wars and conflicts. We've learned that lasting peace comes through understanding and mutual respect, not domination. We developed these technologies to protect ourselves, not to conquer others." For a moment, Vexar was silent, reassessing everything he thought he knew about this species. You hide your true capabilities. You develop technologies specifically designed to counter potential threats, yet you claim peaceful intentions. We built shields, not swords, Dr. Chen explained. Study our history, Commander. When European explorers with advanced technology encountered indigenous peoples on our world, the results were often catastrophic for the less technologically advanced societies. We learned from that history when we looked to the stars. A hidden world, Vexar mused, watching, learning, preparing, while appearing primitive and vulnerable. We call it strategic patience, Okonkwo said. We've observed 17 different interstellar civilizations, Commander. Some peaceful, others, like the Dominion, expansionist. We chose to develop in our own way, at our own pace, while preparing for eventual contact. A new understanding dawned on Vexar. The humans hadn't just developed countermeasures against Dominion technology. They had systematically studied the galaxy's civilizations and prepared accordingly, all while maintaining the illusion of isolation. The Dominion High Council will need to ratify any formal treaty, Vexar said finally. But as Supreme Commander, I am authorized to establish provisional agreements. I propose we begin with the restoration of my ship's basic functions as a gesture of good faith. Okonkwo nodded. Agreed. Dr. Chen will coordinate with your engineering team to selectively restore systems. Weapons capabilities will remain restricted until you exit Earth orbit. As the technical teams began their work, Vexar requested a private channel with Okonkwo. There's something I don't understand, Director. Your species has developed technology that could have given you significant advantage in interstellar politics. Yet you chose isolation. Why? Okonkwo considered the question carefully. We needed time, Commander. Time to ensure that when we finally revealed ourselves to the galaxy, we would do so as equals, not supplicants. Time to develop our own path without external influence or pressure. And now we step onto the galactic stage, not as conquerors or vassals, but as partners where possible and defenders where necessary. As the inexorable prepared to depart Earth orbit, Vexar stood alone in his private chamber, composing his report to the High Council. For the first time in recorded Dominion history, a planetary acquisition had not only failed, but resulted in a strategic partnership instead. He began his report with words no Dominion commander had ever written. The species known as humans represents both a challenge and opportunity to Dominion interests. They have achieved technological parity or superiority in select domains, while maintaining the appearance of a pre-spacefaring civilization. Most significantly, they have demonstrated a capacity for strategic foresight unprecedented in our encounters with other species. I strongly recommend against any further military action against Earth or human interests. Instead, I propose immediate diplomatic recognition and cultural exchange. The humans' unique approach to interstellar relations may offer the Dominion new perspectives on our own expansion methodologies. In short, we have encountered not just another world, but an entirely new paradigm, one that demands respect rather than conquest. As the inexorable accelerated away from Earth, life on the planet continued largely unchanged. In classrooms and workplaces, humans discussed the historic first contact with mild interest before returning to their daily routines. But in secure facilities around the globe, preparations continued. For humanity knew that the galaxy contained many civilizations, and not all would be as reasonable as the Malkari had proven to be. Earth hadn't just survived its first interstellar challenge. It had revealed itself as a power that had been hiding in plain sight all along.